Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Spooky AF. My name's Rob, and I'll be your host today, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Suz. Suz, how are you?
Rob.
Yes,
you
Suz.
are a son of a bitch. I need... Okay, guys, just before we started recording, he was literally like, "Are you recording?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, and by the way, I have a mullet. 3, 2, 1." And I'm like, oh, you absolute bastard. Okay, I'm actually offended I haven't gotten a picture yet.
I mean, to be fair, it's only it's less than 24 hours old, this mullet. It's so...
Were you getting a haircut today?
I got one last night, actually. So, yeah. I don't know what else to really tell you. It's a mullet.
I mean, wait, you always told me, wait, are you going to Australia?
Not yet, no. I'm soft launching the mullet so that my wife is okay with it by the time.
You know she's not gonna let you get away with the mustache.
No, I've already made peace with that, so that's okay.
Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really do worry that, like, I worry about the situation in which you get a mustache and then suddenly I'm in court having to choose between my two friends during the divorce proceedings.
That's, yeah. No, we can't have that. We can't break apart the family like that.
No. And you know that your wife would just look at me and be like, "Get over here." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she would. And there's nothing anyone could do about it, so... Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
So
yeah, no, don't worry. That is not an occurrence just yet, anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I actually can't believe you just like that was you're such an asshole. Like,
I know.
yeah, I mean, sorry, you just broke my brain.
Yeah, it was a masterclass of just dropping a bomb before we start.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh crap. See, you actually just broke my brain. I remember I said, "Oh, I'll just tell you on the pod."
Yeah.
Before that, do you know what I was talking about?
No, I don't.
Because I honestly don't know if I remember.
I don't. Well, look, what we'll do is we'll get into this episode, and then at any point when you remember, I give you permission to interrupt me to tell me what it was.
Okay. Well, okay. Is this going to be the last episode of the year?
I believe so. This may very well be the last. Well, it's definitely the last episode we're recording of 2025. Yeah.
So then maybe we should take a couple of minutes to do what's our like spooky recap of 2025. Like what are our favorite horror spooky related things, like media, whatever that has occurred in 2025.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
Your spookified wrapped.
My Damn. We need to copyright the fuck out of that.
Oh god. Wait, how do I get them to not get upset with me? Allegedly.
Yeah.
Does that work?
We're fine now.
We're fine.
Yeah.
You can tell neither, like, if you're ever wondering what Rob and I both do for a living, we're clearly not lawyers.
Allegedly, okay?
You can say anything.
Yeah.
I own a Maserati, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. I'm completely legally safe now.
Yes.
Spooky highlights for me this year. Ooh, that's a really good question. There's been some bangers of films that I've watched this year.
Yeah.
Do you know what? To be honest, actually, one of the highlights of the year for me was I actually rewatched a bunch of older films I hadn't seen for a while. And number one of them that I forgot how much I enjoyed it was actually Blair Witch Project.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I haven't seen it since the original time I saw it, which was way too young. Like back when it came out.
Yeah.
Does it hold up?
Yeah, it really does.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised with how well it held up, along with Paranormal Activity as well.
I fucking love Paranormal Activity. That is,
yeah,
catnip
it
for
just
Suz.
Worked. It just no notes.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been fun. I've also been finding some like various like horror audio dramas as well, which has been fun. I'm currently listening to like a space horror series called The Vessel.
I've heard of that.
It's really good. It's kind of like
Okay.
if anyone knows the game series Dead Space, it's kind of like
Yes.
that.
Okay.
Where it's like a colony of humans have left the Earth because it's dying basically, and there's this kind of mix of science and religion on the vessel, on the ship.
Nice.
And yeah, the like scientists are basically just trying to run everything like as normal, and there's like schools and everything and kids, but then the religious side to it, then they've become like religious kind of like zealots in a sense, and
Yeah.
it's really really interesting. So I would recommend, if anyone's looking for something to watch, that
Cool.
would be my, or listen to, that would be my suggestion.
Listen to, yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay. Oh God. I mean, what did I watch this year that was I'm trying to go back through the movies. So this isn't from 2025, but like my husband and I watched Sharp Objects.
I haven't watched that.
Oh my God. You like Amy Adams is incredible, but like you need to watch it, and then the minute you watch the final like 2 minutes of the final episode, you immediately need to call me.
Okay, fair. I can do that.
Yeah. Really enjoying it wasn't like a straight horror, but it was kind of a horror-ish, comedy-ish. But the film Companion, did you see that?
No, I didn't. I heard it's really good though.
It's great. So like, yeah, it reveals the twist. Like the twist isn't a twist. It's like, because it reveals it within like the first 10 minutes of the film. You realize what's going on.
Okay.
But it's just really well done. It's got Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I might check
And
it out.
Jack Quaid is one of those stars that I'm pinning a lot of hope on, in the sense of like, he seems like a really personable, nice guy, and I really
like him.
need it. Yeah, I need it to not come out that he's like secretly a fascist or a racist or like has like sexually assaulted everyone. Like I really need him to not do that.
It's all we can hope for.
I think for me, the biggest new horror that I'm obsessed with is Bring Her Back.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting for you to say it.
Like, Bring Her Back, and then you have to watch the South Park Labubu episode, which references it.
Also, just as an addition, I just want to acknowledge the fact that I watched Begonia because you told me to.
Oh my God. Oh, I forgot. We haven't talked about Begonia. Oh my God.
That was fucking wild.
Okay, guys, spoiler alert from this point forward for Begonia.
Skip.
Yeah.
We're
Skip,
not like limiting what we're saying about this here.
No, we'll like try and add a note or something.
Yeah.
Begonia was so uncomfortable to watch, so incredible.
Yeah.
I need y'all to know that, like, so it's from the same director that's done several films kind of in that vein, the kind of weird vein, but like most recently he did Poor Things, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, but it's
This
a
was on a
very
different
different
level,
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't know Begonia, like the premise is that these two kind of very like blue collar guys in a town believe that like the head of a like a biopharmaceutical company, biochemical company, that is played by Emma Stone, is actually an Andromedan alien who is like set out to destroy the Earth.
Yeah. That's basically the premise of it. And
like, it's got a lot of like content warnings for stuff, but I think one of the ones was that like I knew I was in unsafe hands with that director the minute that he DIY'd chemically castrated his like mentally challenged cousin.
yeah, he did.
Like, you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a ride.
Yep. Yeah.
Because basically, like, Jesse Plemons' character is the kind of lead of the duo, and then his cousin, like, clearly has some learning disabilities.
Yes. The actor actually is... I was actually reading into him afterwards. He's a really good actor, actually. So he's very,
I don't know him.
He's very vocal about the fact that he has autism.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And he's like... He was really good. I actually really, really liked him.
He was great. Like, he was so good.
Aidan Delbus is his name.
Aidan Delbus. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I need to look into it because he was fantastic in the role. And Jesse Plemons was so haunting Like
Yes.
you are taken along on this like this psychotic mania with him in a way.
I'm really
And-
enjoying his like recent glow up that he's had. Like he's come back around. Like he
Yeah,
kind of
why-
disappeared for a while.
Yeah, I feel like, what was the last thing I saw him in?
He was in Civil War. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I didn't, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But the whole film though is so like they kidnap Emma Stone
Yep.
and they shave her head, which I mean, as you know, I am pro for. Like that
Yep.
that's on brand for me. And she looks great with a buzz cut.
She does actually. Fair play.
Yeah,
to her.
I was like, game recognizes game. You got a
Yep.
good head shape.
Yeah, she does.
But I just love that it was like we shaved her. She was like, "Where's my hair?" And they were like, we know it's how you communicate with the other Andromedans." Yeah. And she's like covered in like hydrocortisone cream.
Yep.
And she's like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because it slows down like your body's enzymes or something." She's like, "Right."
Yep.
Okay.
It is wild. Like, people should just go watch it. If you're looking for a strange film to watch, go watch that.
If you're looking for a film that you literally will not see the ending coming until it's happening,
Yes.
and then as it's happening, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, your brain kind of slows down a little bit as you're watching it.
Yeah, it's like
Just
my
go
husband.
watch it.
My husband paused the film and was like, "I need a minute," like to just like, yep,
Yeah. Just go watch it. Definitely,
Yeah.
just go watch it.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think the only other horror like wrap up thing for me, I think I'm trying to like go through the films that I've recently watched. I would say that I really liked Alien Earth. That was a really good, good show. Definitely if you're into sci-fi horror, definitely go for it. And then did I watch? If you're looking for a terrible film, that tries like. This is literally a film that cannot decide what kind of film it is. It's called The Gorge.
Okay.
It has Anya Taylor-Joy and, that cutie patootie, what's his name? He was in Whiplash.
The main guy in Whiplash.
Miles Teller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're the two stars, and the film literally at terms is a horror, a sci-fi thriller, a government conspiracy film, a war film, and a rom-com.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually like suggest you pour a beverage of your choice. Does not have to include alcohol. Might enhance the experience if it did. And just expect bad, and you'll have a good time.
Okay.
And maybe
fair.
report back. Tell me what kind of film that was, listeners. I'm calling on you. Like, let me know, because I'm confused.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll check it out then.
So that's the horror wrap.
Yeah. Good. Very good. Yeah, that's fun. I am gonna jump into this one today because it's
Skippers.
yeah. Come back, skippers. We're 15 minutes in. It's fine.
That's not bad. We've
it's
done
good.
worse.
We have done far worse. So today I want to give a brief overview of something that I find particularly interesting. And Suz, I actually told you about this beforehand. So the reason why I want to talk today about this case or whatever you want to talk about, the topic is Christmas historically, particularly in like Europe, the kind of Ireland, UK, Scotland, that sort of area. Christmas in the past was all about like kind of trading ghost stories and things like that, and it wasn't as much the scary stories wasn't as much associated with Halloween in the past. It was more kind of a Christmas thing, which I'm sure you're well aware of, Suz.
I am crawling out of my skin ready to talk to you about this.
Oh, I know you are. So that's why you have the likes of like a Christmas Carol and things like that. You've got these kind of horror-ish or esque stories set at Christmas time.
Which makes a lot of sense, like, if you're aware of, like, how, like, living in the northern Atlantic, it's, like, fucking cold and it's fucking dark.
Yep.
And
you're right.
It's, like, the perfect time, yeah.
Yep. So it all makes sense. So something then that also then kind of came out of that was around this time of the year, then you would have a lot of people who are hearing ghost stories and talking about them and are basically just exposed to different stories about the paranormal and things like that. And
Yeah.
naturally, as time progressed, you had things like the spiritualist movement that emerged. And through that, you had the popularization of seances. So today I want to give a very brief overview of the history of seances and one or two notable cases of seances that allegedly had something happen in them, and then one or two mediums as well who declared themselves as being able to conduct seances correctly.
Rob, if we do not talk about ectoplasm, I am gonna lose my fucking mind.
Don't you worry. I have literally a section in my notes that just says, "Let Suz talk about ectoplasm."
Yay! Okay, yay.
So don't you worry.
Okay, yay. Okay, good.
So I suppose an introduction, I guess, is that a seance is, for anyone that doesn't know, but I assume you do if you're listening to this episode, seances at their core are ritualistic gatherings that are intended to facilitate communication between the living and the spirits of the deceased. And I didn't actually realize this, but the term itself actually derives from the French word for session or sitting.
Oh.
But in English, it's actually just come to basically specifically denote meetings where participants attempt to receive messages from the spirit world.
Yeah.
And the person who often leads these sessions are known as mediums. So
Yes.
while the concept of communicating with the dead is ancient and cross-cultural and has been well established throughout time, the seance itself as a sort of formalized practice is more closely associated with the rise of the spiritualist movement in the 19th century.
Yes.
And yeah, don't you worry, Suz. This is like a checklist of topics that Suz likes. So this is my Christmas gift to you.
Like I literally got a PhD in Victorian studies.
You do.
I'm
So
just like,
this is
I'm
your
like
wheelhouse.
frothing at the mouth here. Which is
So
appropriate.
I'm gonna keep my kind of info short on what I talk about today because I think we can just have more of a conversation about this.
Yeah.
So the intentions behind conducting seances are varied and obviously quite personal for certain people. For some, seances offer means of seeking closure after the loss of a loved one. They even potentially could provide some sort of comfort and the hope of continued connection or the afterlife is there. Others are more motivated by the curiosity surrounding it all, or, again, around that kind of the thought of the afterlife, the desire for any sort of like guidance that could come from the spirit world. The pursuit of spiritual enlightenment is also kind of often highlighted as a reason for it.
Yeah.
And in many cases, seances just serve as this communal, I suppose, ritual in a sense that fosters a sense of belonging and almost a shared purpose among its participants.
Yeah.
And in a sense, they've kind of played a pretty significant role in shaping cultural attitudes towards death, particularly the supernatural. And they've kind of tested the boundaries between science and faith in a sense, in a very light sense. Their history is definitely marked by periods of strong belief, public fascination, obviously scientific investigation, and now in the modern times, intense skepticism. So, as I said, we're going to get through a little bit of history of seances. We're going to talk about some of their origins, kind of the evolution around it, and then where they currently sit now in modern society before we talk about some prominent people in the movement.
I really wish you would have given me more of a advance notice that this was going to be the topic of the episode, though, because I really would have, to get into the mode, I would have put on one of my 2 Ouija board themed dresses.
Fair.
Yeah, you know.
The next time I do a Victorian, anything to do with the spiritualist movement, I'll let you know in advance.
I need you to know that I will sit on my couch, like fully looking like the woman in black, like ready to talk about this shit.
Absolutely fair. Totally fair. So I suppose some history of seances before we get into the meat and bones of it. So the seance as we know it now, the kind of sitting around a table conducting the communications with the dead, either through the use of a Ouija board or something else, that is firmly from the 19th century. But the practice of communicating with spirits is obviously found in most cultures. So some just one or two examples. The ancient Greeks consulted with oracles to gain insights from the divine. and kind of to get some insights from the gods, basically, on what they should do.
Am I wrong in thinking that the sisters at the sisters at Delphi or whatever, that they were basically getting high off volcanic fumes?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up. Good.
No. Yeah, they were getting well high.
Good.
In Haitian voodoo, practitioners do engage in ceremonies to invite spirits into their presence, and it kind of helps them to facilitate dialogue and to offer them guidance. And then finally, in Tibetan Buddhism, there's rituals specifically around the dead, and these are outlined in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The rituals that they follow are intended to guide spirits towards peaceful rebirth and blending commemoration and spiritual teaching. So while it isn't necessarily about the dead contacting us, it's about us ensuring that the dead almost setting path ahead for them so that they can transition peacefully.
Oh, okay.
So,
and then, also, we can talk about, indulgences in the Catholic Church.
Totally. Oh, 100%. That's a whole other, avenue. So, it's, I suppose the point I'm trying to make is that they're communicating with the dead is not just locked into seances. It's well established as a practice across the entire world in multiple different periods of history. Interestingly enough, I actually found an article online that discussed the psychological benefits to engaging in a seance for some.
What? Are you telling me that we're about to give people who are on SSRIs an alternative? What?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird, but it makes sense when you read it. So the article that I found, it basically talked about how in certain, and I emphasize certain circumstances, seances in a weird sense can offer this structured opportunity to process grief and I suppose express unresolved emotions with someone that you've lost, and that it effectively offers a means for someone to find closure.
Oh, that makes sense.
This is if a seance works with its intended purpose, I suppose, is the way to view it, or the person at least believes that it does.
Yeah.
And I suppose the communal aspect of a seance then as well kind of fosters that social support. And I guess you could almost say in a sense that it almost validates that individual's experience of loss, and then creating this shared space for remembrance around that person that they're potentially trying to contact.
But doesn't that then rely that the medium or whoever's leading the seance is really having benevolent intentions?
100%. So that's why, yes, that's why I think it's kind of saying that the concept of a seance basically can offer psychological benefits, but in practice that is often not the case.
Fair enough. Okay.
But I can see where they're coming from with it, though. If it works correctly, it could help, but it often doesn't.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, that's the first thing that comes into my mind is the leader of the seance somehow exploiting or tricking the individual into believing they need to give them money or something.
Absolutely. And I suppose I'll say before I go any further, I 100% do not believe in anything to do with seances. I
don't either. Yeah,
it's effectively a parlor trick as far as I'm concerned. I just want to emphasize that. So as I said before, seances are quite ritualistic in a sense. So with a seance, you have the creation of a sacred space, the use of candles often, incense is usually burned.
Rob, I'm so sorry.
Yeah?
I just remember what I was going to tell you.
Good. Do it.
Okay, I'm so sorry. So, I was going to tell you, because you just sent me a Mulder and Scully meme.
Yeah.
I ran across a ASMR video of Dana Scully interviewing you after an alien encounter.
You need to send that to me, please.
I will send it to you. It is surprisingly good and relaxing, but also hilarious. So, yes. Okay, sorry.
You just reminded me of a supercut that I saw before of... So there's a movement online where people talk about how the footstep sounds generated by the shoes that they're wearing in the X-Files, whatever way they recorded them or something like that, particularly the ones where they're walking outside.
Yeah.
In alleyways and things like that. Apparently a lot of people online feel comfort hearing that noise. So there's supercuts on YouTube of basically just David Duchovny as Fox Mulder running, and you're just hearing his echoey shoe steps.
Sometimes the internet's okay.
I'm fine with that.
It's this shit that I like.
I'm absolutely fine with that. And look, I'll be honest with you. When I heard it, I was like, that actually kind of is nice. It's a nice sound.
It is. I mean, I can't say anything. I spend a lot of time watching the videos about the science behind why accidents happen on roller coasters. I find it really weirdly kind of comforting, and I don't know why.
Absolutely fair. Look, it's harmless fun.
Yeah, but I'll send you that video because throughout it, so she is playing Dana Scully and she's interviewing you, but there's she leans in at one point and she's like, they're listening. And so she'll ask you a question and then hold up a small piece of paper that'll say say yes.
Amazing.
Or so there's actually a bigger story going on. It's actually great. Shout out to Goodnight Moon ASMR. You are fantastic.
I'm all there for it. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
It's fine.
Cut back.
So as I said, seances are quite ritualistic in the sense of what they are, and I suppose the concept of the ritual there, it's to provide, in a sense, some sort of sense of order and meaning to what they're doing, and kind of some sort of sanctity to the proceedings. But as we said, often they just serve as a means for the medium who's leading the seance to kind of lead people down a certain path, because it's we're performing a ritual, so you're immediately setting people up psychologically to believe whatever is about to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, the whole all we do is engage in different rituals, but specifically around the dead. Ireland has a really strong kind of history and culture around how the processes and rituals that go on when someone dies.
Oh, we're mad for it. We're big for it. We still have the wake and everything like that, and it's a unique thing from what I believe to the rest of the world. Obviously, other cultures do it as well, but I think the Irish version of it is a unique thing. So
because a lot of places in Ireland still do the body in the home.
Most places outside of Dublin would. Yeah,
and which. See, the thing that alarmed me when I heard about that was not the concept of it, but was just coming from a place that's so fucking hot. I was like, that's no, fair. You can't be doing that.
That is fair. Yeah, no, most wakes I've been to have been in the person's house.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
And it's a cool thing, actually, because, even as a child, you're kind of just brought into it, and that's just it. It's just kind of normal.
Yeah, they say, well, who was it? I think it was historically Jeremy Bentham had a obsession with the idea that we would be a much healthier society culturally if we were much more comfortable with the idea of our own death and the concept of death. And so he actually had what was it didn't he have corpses around his house, around the perimeter of his house? And then when he died, he requested his wife then carried his head around, his formaldehyded head around in a bag.
Love it.
Yeah,
that is definitely a way to do it.
That's fucking metal.
Yeah.
I also like the idea that she was God, I guess it was in the will. So she's getting her shit together to go out for the day. And she's umbrella, gloves, husband's head.
Yeah. Gotta get my nut.
I also like that she could leave it at a restaurant or something by accident. A waiter being I am not paid enough to deal with this.
No, that's definitely an no for most waiters.
That's a whole bunch of whoops-a-daisies.
Yep.
But rituals, it's important.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So the modern seance is definitely linked to the rise in spiritualism.
Yeah.
Which was a religious and, I suppose, philosophical movement that emerged in the US in the mid-19th century.
But it was also I think there's some interpretation where it was also some of it was a reaction to the dramatic social, economic, and political changes going on in the 19th century. If you think about the Industrial Revolution and all this technology and all that, people were feeling that humanity had entered almost a schizophrenic age of nothing making sense and everything changing so quickly.
Yes.
That they really did start thinking about what happens when we're gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. And I think as well, it's a really interesting period in history with regards to global conflict as well that's occurring.
Oh yeah.
and it kind of
like
leading,
colonization.
yeah, and it kind of leading into the early 20th century, then with the First World War and things like that. Like, you can definitely see and understand why it had such the following that it did, just with the amount of grief that people were collectively feeling over these like global conflicts, effectively, that like the numerous loved ones died in. So I can totally see why. It definitely makes sense to me.
And so like this idea of nothing making sense, and like this idea of like history not mattering almost, and like, you know, these traditions and all that not mattering in the face of, you know, industrialized total war.
Yep. That, and 100%, yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Like it's a very dynamic shift in humanity, I think, at this point in time. Like, and like, I suppose the established lore of being a human was kind of flipped on its head with the Industrial Revolution and the dramatic change in society that we had.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I suppose spiritualism kind of suggested that the spirits of the dead could communicate with the living, often through the agency of specially gifted individuals known as mediums. And I suppose before we continue, I read this really interesting piece, and you've probably seen it as well before, talking about how around this time, particularly with mediums, it offered an opportunity for women to actually put themselves in positions of power that they previously hadn't experienced before, where those that talked about their ability to commune with the dead, they were all of a sudden listened to. And they had people from all over traveling to see them, to talk to them about it. And I just found it fascinating when you kind of look at it. It's like there was a lot of women who led the movement of being mediums. It's just really, really interesting how it kind of, in a sense, it became linked with these other kind of progressive social movements. I found this interesting website. It was called The Collector, where it actually linked women being mediums in with the women's suffrage movement and abolitionism as well, and things like that. It was really, really fascinating. Like it was really interesting, and how it was all kind of like intrinsically linked to one another at this time. So I suppose a callback. We previously in an episode, I think it was on a short episode actually, I talked about the Fox sisters.
You did, who I love, like queens.
They are fascinating. And the Fox sisters really, I suppose caused an explosion in the spiritualist movement. They were these two sisters who famously led these large seances for huge audiences, where they'd commune with the dead, and they had these rapping sounds happening, and noises and knocks and tables tipping over and other phenomena all occurring, and it basically acted as bait effectively for so many people, and it pulled them right into this. And I suppose this was around the 1840s. By the 1850s, seances were being held in huge parlors, public halls all across America and Europe.
Well, did you ever watch Penny Dreadful?
It's a few bits here and there. I didn't watch the full thing.
So, like, one of the first episodes, it must be between episodes 1 and 3, I think, of the first season, there is a huge, like, it became almost like a marker of class that you could have these, like, huge seances. And so there is this, like, the curator at the British Museum, I think, is holding this huge seance, and it's like an excuse for this huge party, and like very, very wealthy, arty kind of people all being there and all that. So there is almost like these women who were doing it though weren't like posh women, and so it's almost this very strange class transition, like opportunity. So in some ways I kind of respect the grift of like I'm like, you know, oh, bad things happening to rich people. Okay.
I completely agree with you. Like, and there's like the amount of women that were involved in, like, you had people like Florence Cook and Cora Maynard who were involved in it. Obviously, the Fox sisters themselves, and
are we gonna talk about Helen Duncan?
I didn't intend on talking about Helen Duncan, but we absolutely can.
Oh, we're gonna fucking talk about Helen.
I had a mention of her. I also had a mention of Eusapia Palladino as well.
Eusapia Palladino. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. So sorry.
So, like, it was a lot of women leading this movement, and it's really, really interesting. And I suppose, it was one of those professions, as I said, in which women could achieve a lot in this, particularly in Victorian society.
Yeah.
And there was almost became this like belief that women were more inclined to be more intuitive and receptive to the spiritual world. And it kind of reinforced their central role that they played in the seance.
Well, because there's almost like, I mean, I would think in my mind that's connected to this idea of like women's, like if you ever get into this, the kind of theories around like, you know, what is underpinning patriarchy and misogyny, and there's like this almost like dual reverence and fear of a woman's body.
Yes.
And that like women as vessels for life, but then also like bleeding monthly, and there's something like very grotesque to the misogynist about it and things. And so it makes sense that there's almost this like a woman being a literal medium between life and death, as you know, like she often was in childbirth and things.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really also, but like for the women, I think it's also an opportunity for a woman who would otherwise have to either be at work in an industry like a working class job or at home in a bourgeois marriage.
Yes.
Like.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, and I think the interesting thing, and you kind of briefly mentioned it, is that it challenged class boundaries as well. Like,
yeah,
like a lot of mediums did come from, I suppose, more modest backgrounds, is the way I saw it described, but
yeah.
Their services were sought actively by the middle and upper classes, and like the aristocracy got involved, even royalty, like Queen Victoria apparently.
Oh yeah.
She participated in numerous seances following the death of Prince Albert. So like, I suppose the interesting thing about it was that like death has no consideration at all for class boundaries. Everyone experiences death, so therefore everyone can experience seances.
Yes, and everyone, like, yeah, it is a real. The actual ritual of the seance has a very interesting class and gender collapse to it.
Yes. Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, and like I won't do this justice today. It's something that we will definitely revisit at certain points, I think, in another episode. So for
sure.
Yeah, we can definitely do more with this. So
also, I just need to throw in, did everyone know, like, I feel like a lot of people don't know, Queen Victoria was 4'11".
Yeah, it is wild. I saw a picture of one of her dresses recently.
Yeah.
And her shoes as well. And I'm just like, holy fuck.
On her tiny, tiny feet.
It is wild how small she was.
Like a woman who essentially kind of ruined the world. She was 4'11". Like, yep. I don't know.
Yeah, it gives a lot of food for thought.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
So I would like to talk about mostly the rituals, tools, and I suppose outcomes of the Victorian seance.
Amazing.
So I'm basically, my plan here is to give an overview and then pretty much hand it over to you, Suz, because
amazing.
I know you got a lot of thoughts on this. So.
I have many things I want to engage you on in this topic.
Yes. So Victorian seances were rich in the ritual aspect to it and symbolism. Participants often sat in a circle. They'd often hold hands to create what was called a magnetic chain that was believed to facilitate spirit communication. The room was obviously dimly lit. There was candles used, gas lamps were turned down, and it was all there to kind of create this atmosphere, I suppose. And I would argue that the atmosphere was bordering on this kind of mystical atmosphere where...
Well, yeah, it's almost like everyone was trying to embody the liminal.
Yes. That perfectly describes it. And there were numerous tools that were used as part of this. So we had spirit boards, which are the precursor to the Ouija board. Trumpets were used for them to make like short, sharp noises.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually didn't know either. Obviously, tables became a big part of it as well. People sitting around the table. Are
you telling me there could have been an opportunity for someone to be like, oh, what do you do? Oh, yeah, I'm the trumpet player at a seance.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically.
Like, amazing.
There were also manifestation cabinets.
Yes. Oh, yes.
These were used to produce or amplify spiritual phenomena. And Suz, what do you think was linked the most with these manifestation cabinets? What?
I don't know, Rob. Rob, let the listeners know. What is it?
So, for some reason, at this time, people obviously, for some reason, just chose to believe these mediums, and they also believed in the production of a spiritual substance called ectoplasm.
I'm so fucking excited about this.
And ectoplasm is not as we currently know ectoplasm from, say, the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ectoplasm through the Victorians was effectively like lacy cloth.
It was literally like cheesecloth.
That was pulled from the throats of mediums.
Cheesecloth, like toilet paper and egg white was usually like the combo.
Yeah. And these people just fucking pulled it out of their mouths and were like, oh, a ghost left it there.
It's exactly like Randy Marsh in that South Park episode that's making fun of the Grapes of Wrath.
Yes.
When the internet goes out and he like has ejaculated onto like the whole room and he's like, it's ectoplasm.
It's ectoplasm. It was a spooky ghost.
It was a ghost.
So this is the part of my notes where I literally had ectoplasm and then hand over to Suz.
I actually find this whole practice to be so fascinating. One, because it's like gross body horror element. Like imagine having to ingest that cocktail to then regurgitate it.
It's wild. There's also pictures, by the way, that I will share on our social media for people of ectoplasm.
And like to be fair, the pictures of some seances, whether it's ectoplasm or like you think you can see a spirit or something, whether like they do look creepy.
They do.
Like
they absolutely
even
do.
knowing that they are not like that they are completely falsified.
Yep.
They look like if you didn't know anything, you'd be like, that's real weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But I just number one, I have to really admire the stomachs of these women who, like, they would have to ingest that cocktail before they started and then regurgitate it at the proper time.
And try to appear reasonably okay as well while doing it.
Can I drop a Helen Duncan fact?
Please do.
Okay, so if you don't, since we're not really going to talk about her, so for those of you who don't know, Helen Duncan was a Scottish woman who claimed to be a medium, and she ran a lot of seances, and she was quite famous. So she was in like the early to mid 20th century, actually, so she's a bit late.
Yeah.
But her claim to fame is that she was the last person to be tried under the Witchcraft Act of 1735.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she was fraudulently claiming
for fraudulent mediumship.
Which I think is so funny. Like, that is so funny and so English. Like, this
wild
idea of being like it falls, like, the fact that you were, like, it's like a consumer watchdog of seances.
It's fucking mad. Like, Helen Duncan, I've basically decided that is an episode that you're going to do.
I need to talk about how they like the association of like psychological study or whatever, I can't remember the exact name, but they were like debunking a bunch of, they were like the Dr. Strands of real life.
Yeah, they were.
Black Tapes reference for if you know, you know.
Fucking
I
nerds.
need you to know how. No, okay, honey, they're not nerds if they listen to Black Tapes. Oh, narc. Okay, I thought you said nerds. I was like, they're not nerds, they're masochists. We've talked about this.
The Society for Psychical Research. They're both narcs.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I need you to know how they proved that she could not produce ectoplasm.
Oh, God. Tell me.
So, they made her take methylene blue. Yeah, so, which I don't know if you know, but it's a salt that's used as a dye and as a medication. It has previously been used, and I had to look up on Wikipedia what it's also used for. Previously, it had been used to treating both cyanide poisoning and urinary tract infections.
Love it. Absolutely love it. The Mad Lads did it.
This is why I do my, like, historical medical ones, because it's just like the Wild West.
Yeah.
It'll be like, this'll treat you if you got cyanide poisoning or if it burns when you pee.
Fucking mad.
Yeah, so they made her take that, and then she couldn't produce the ectoplasm.
Shocking.
Yeah, during the seance, and that's how they debunked it. So that's my Helen Duncan fact.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I love it.
But her concoction literally was cheesecloth, toilet paper, and egg white.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Look, she found her niche and she ran with it, so, you know.
I mean, wacky diets of the past, right?
Yeah. So I suppose to wind up this episode then, some notable, I suppose, examples of other mediums that we have are obviously the Fox sisters, who I talked about.
Yep.
Their seances featured a range of phenomena. I talked about it already, table tipping, and things like that. But they also had this thing called automatic writing, which is basically writing with a pen with your eyes closed, effectively, and letting the spirits guide you in your hand, effectively.
Oh, because like you can, if you ever watch somebody like claiming to do it, it's like they do a lot of like loops and stuff, like as almost like static between words.
Yes, yeah. Then I mentioned Giuseppe Palladino. She was an Italian medium. She was renowned for her dramatic physical phenomena, including levitating tables, objects moving, materializations of spirits. And her seances actually attracted the attention of scientists, writers, and skeptics. And she's a fascinating character in history. She really is. Like, she claimed to have experienced supernatural phenomena from childhood. She began participating in seances in her teens, and then basically quickly gained this reputation for her own abilities. And
amazing.
Her performances, which I literally saw them described as her performances, included going into trances, changes of personality, and then the production of physical effects, such as breezes and luminous manifestations. She was wild. She was absolutely wild. Other famous, I suppose, people. Then we have Florence Cook, who I mentioned. She was a British medium. She's especially known for her materialization during seances, where the spirit of someone called Katie King was said to appear in physical form, and this happened numerous times.
Oh, that's funny, because Helen Duncan had like a spiritual guide that she called Peggy.
She did, yeah. So Helen Duncan then also had a spirit with her, basically. And yeah, she was quite interesting as well. An interesting character.
I'm so sorry. I have to just briefly say, did you know that during one of the tests they were like running on Helen Duncan to prove if she was real or not? They were gonna X-ray her to like make sure she hadn't like swallowed cheesecloth or something, and she got so upset at the sight of the X-ray machine. Her husband came up to her and said, "Don't worry, it's painless." And she got so upset she punched her husband in the face and ran out into the street hysterically.
What the fuck?
The woman was wild.
She was wild. And I suppose...
But if I had 6 kids and worked part-time at a bleach factory, I might do that too.
Yeah, and you know, what I was going to say here is that the thing that a lot of these anyway had in common, apart from the fact that they were mediums, is that the Fox sisters, Giuseppe Palladino and Helen Duncan, have also all been outed as frauds, effectively.
Frauds, yeah.
So, Palladino, by the way, is the wildest one, because she was caught cheating multiple times. And that she basically was just like, nah. And people kept following her afterwards, regardless.
Well, that's like those girls and young women that I've heard about on TikTok who are like doing tarot.
Yeah.
And then if you pay them, they'll also like, some of them will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm talking to your dead uncle," and then like people will be on there and be like, "I don't have an uncle," and they'll be like, "Oh sorry, it's your dead dog." Like,
it's wild. And you've actually perfectly segued into my final point. Seances.
Oh, I was like, what?
They actually continue in the modern day. They continue to be practiced in various forms around the world, and as you mentioned, people on TikTok now decided to do tarot readings and things like that.
Yep.
There is a seance movement online as well, where people talk about it, like their experiences with seances. Mm-hmm. And the spiritualist church actually is still quite prominent. And
is it?
So what I find fascinating about the spiritualist church is that they're quite prominent in the US and in the UK. And they hold seances as part of their religious services. And
what?
They emphasize ethical mediumship, healing, and the demonstration of the continuity of life.
What? How did I know? Whoa.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is seances. It's fucking wild. Like,
I'm absolutely gonna dive down a hole looking at that stuff.
I know you are, and that's okay.
Like, that is, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's my Christmas gift to me.
Yeah. But
That was amazing.
yeah. I hope you enjoyed this one.
I really did. And I think it's something I don't know much about, but I'd like to learn is because it was like this was very prominent in France, particularly around Paris as well.
Yeah.
It kind of like it was more popular in France for a while and then it kind of moved to the States.
Yes, it did.
So,
yeah.
But
It's
I don't
kind of
really know
started in
anything
France.
about. Yeah, but I don't really know a lot about. Obviously, because like I'd never specialized in French history or culture, but like specifically, so I don't really know much about that context. I'd be interested to know if it kind of manifested itself differently.
Yeah. I think in France it was a bit more short-lived, and it didn't have the same kind of legs as it developed in the US.
I mean, that makes sense though, because like France over the centuries has become aggressively secular. So
Yeah, I think so, and
then
I think
the
that really
States
is. It's a cultural
the States
thing.
have not.
No. Yeah. So that is Séances. I hope you enjoyed it.
I really did. I'm so glad you let me talk about ectoplasm. It is.
problem.
It's a personal. It's a passion. You know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah. So look, people who are listening, I hope you enjoyed this. I had a wild time researching this, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. You can share them with us on social media, on Threads and Instagram at the SpookyAF Pod. You can get us on Gmail at spookafpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also get us on YouTube when this episode goes up. So there's many places to let us know your thoughts on seances. I'd actually love to know if you've participated in a seance. Have you used the Ouija board? What's been your experiences?
Have you ever been like cold read by a medium or a psychic? Like, what was that like?
I love to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that said, I hope you're having a lovely day whenever it is you listen to this, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.